Hello, 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 and welcome to episode 4 of What Happens in the Neighbourhood. I'm here with my very good friend Patience. Patience, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you doing?
Nice, yeah, I'm doing all right. The sun's out, pretty hot at the moment. Every week, it's our mission to bring you some top quality news, some tantalizing events to go to, and some facts about our awesome app, HiKinjo. Plus, over the next 30 minutes or so, you can expect to hear regular features such as the weekly quiz and the Chamber of British Legends. Without further ado, pour yourself a glass of something fantastically fizzy, sit back and relax as we dive straight into episode numero 4. Okay, everybody, we are going to have a look at the weekly news. Patience, have you seen anything cool going on this week?
Yeah, I saw something awesome in the science world space. So some astronomers were left stunned after the Hubble Space Telescope accidentally filmed an off-the-scale gigantic black hole speeding through the universe at an eye-popping speed. They saw triggering of new stars forming a nearby dwarf galaxy. This incredible event offered a glimpse of into what might have happened a billion of years ago. It is basically not just to do with our living planet, but beyond outer space as well. And most of this, they're still trying to figure out what it is. But yeah, that's fascinating because it's not something that you think was possible to see like what was happening a billion years ago. And now there's a chance that we might be able to know.
That is insane. How can anyone know
Yeah.
what happened a billion years ago? But yeah,
Imagine like if you had a past life, that could be a thing. Maybe there's like a version of Andrew from a billion years ago.
that's a scary
Don't know
thought.
about.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. What is your favorite planet in the solar system? Do you have one?
I don't think it's a planet, but I love the moon. The moon is not a planet, is it?
I don't think so. No, no.
I
Yeah,
don't think so.
I like the moon. Yeah, that would be a good group to start on HiKinjo actually, like one for astronomers and
Yeah.
stargazers. Any other news you've seen?
Yes, it's so weird. I've just been looking at some stuff this week. So another one that I've got is the robot called EELS, which is Exobiology Extant Life Savior, is 13-foot long machine which aims to investigate like tunnels, glaciers, snowdrifts, and potential of like extraterrestrial life. So basically, unlike the previous ones, this one has uncovered some of Saturn's mystery. And this was done by Dennis, who is 13 years old, actually.
Wow.
This discovery, apparently. No, I think
The
it's the news, not the discovery, but it's interesting. Like, so it's undergoing like testing in terms of like everything else. However, they are figuring out some stuff. They've not said what yet, but it's gonna be interesting to see like what they discover, the mysteries about around it, because it's always been an interesting planet compared to like Mars and like other planets around the solar system. So yeah.
wow, what was you doing at 13?
Me at 13, I was not doing that.
No, I
I was
wasn't.
doing anything but that.
I wasn't either. I feel like I wasted my youth. Wow. Well,
No, do you know what? I feel like it's easy to compare yourself, but honestly, like people have different interests at different ages. I know my brother had like he was always like an A-star student, and I was like the completely opposite of that. 'Cause I didn't like school at all. So yeah, I just realized early like I was different and I was okay with it because I didn't like studying at all.
everyone grows at different rates, right? You know.
True.
People have been moaning about the flake that comes in ice creams.
Really? Why? What about it?
They've been saying that it's too flaky and a bit too crumbly. Um,
That's interesting. So, is there like a certain type of standard for what a flake should look like, or should taste like, or should feel like?
we're going into all the deep questions this week like that. But no, apparently Cadbury's they switched production and it's now made in Egypt.
Hmm.
And they're all complaining that the flake is just not good enough nowadays. So yeah, have you ever had this problem?
No, because I don't really care about stuff like that, like the flake. I feel like that's a very interesting complaint to have, to be honest.
It is, isn't it? You'd be
Yeah.
surprised what people complain about. This man named John said, "You can't give someone a 99 with a broken flake. It's embarrassing for an ice cream man." Very true words, John. And yeah,
Yeah, that is embarrassing indeed.
it is embarrassing. If you're an ice cream, I was going to say ice cream man, but I suppose you should say ice cream person. If you're an ice cream person, then please check the quality of your flakes before you give them out.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Do your due diligence.
It's great advice to have. Oh yeah, the other bit of news from this week I've seen going around. Unfortunately, Tina Turner has passed away. It's a big
Oh my
shame.
God, yes. I saw that. I think it was this morning. I was really sad because it was literally all over my TikTok, and I was like, no,
Yeah,
no way, but it's true.
it's very
I was
sad.
actually definitely sad.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was amazing.
she was simply the best.
She was at what she does, definitely. Like,
Yeah,
what was your favorite song of her?
probably simply the best.
Simply. Oh, that's why you say that. I just clocked that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, probably that. Private Dancer, she did Steamy
Mm-hmm.
Windows, she did Nutbush
Mm-hmm.
City Limits.
What's love got to do with it?
What's Love Got to Do with It? Yeah, that one as well. Yeah. They called her the Queen of Rock and Roll, and she's one of those people you
Mm-hmm.
just imagine that would be there forever. And sort of,
Exactly.
it's a
You
big
don't wake up and think, Tina Turner is not going to exist anymore. But
shit. Yeah.
my condolences to her partner and her family.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And yeah, what a legacy she leaves. R.I.P. Rest in power, Tina Turner.
Love it.
Okay, so patience, we move on to what you fear the most, which is the quiz, the weekly quiz.
Oh my gosh, do I have to? Do I actually have to?
I can feel your heart beating from here. I
It
know.
is. I'm
Yeah,
scared.
very nerve-wracking, the weekly three questions. Okay, so everybody listen in and anyone joining in, if you're ready, then let's go. Question number one. So this time round, I've decided to base it on kind of British culture.
Okay, that's
Yes.
exciting.
So, question number one. What year was Shakespeare born?
Oh
Now,
my
what?
gosh, do people actually know the answer to this question?
No, I don't think even Shakespeare knew. But I certainly didn't know before I Googled it. But A, we have 1564, B, 1785, or C, 1888.
Okay, my first guess was 18, but I'm gonna go with the first one because Shakespeare is like old, old, but yeah. So let's go with the first one.
Is a pretty old dude, and you are correct. It is 1564. Well done, well done.
Wow. Oh my gosh, did you know there was this little conspiracy going around where Anne Hathaway looked apparently she looks like Shakespeare's wife, how she would look like in his time, and her husband looks like Shakespeare as well, apparently.
No way.
Yeah, so it's like a reincarnation of like Shakespeare and his wife, but in this lifetime.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'll have to Google.
Yeah,
Nice.
please.
Okay, I know what you're trying to do, Patience. You're trying to distract me so I don't continue.
No. Is it working?
It nearly did. It nearly did. But we go back to the quiz.
Okay.
Question number two. Nice try, by the way. Question number two. How many Harry Potter books are there? Now, is it A, 6, B, 7, or C, 8?
7. It has to be 7 because I watched Harry Potter growing. It's 7. It's definitely 7.
You are correct. Yeah, I thought you might get that one.
Yay.
7, 7. Yeah, fantastic.
I remember I watched the first movie, like I was in Glasgow. This was like in 2000, early 2000 or something like that. Like I remember watching the first movie, so I was like, yep, 7. I know this one.
I think that one might trip people up because the last film they split in with the last book they split into two movies, right? Yeah, okay. Um, Question 3. In which county does Glastonbury take place every year? Is it A, Somerset, B, Suffolk, or C, Wales?
Okay, I feel like you're doing this one on purpose because you're going to Glastonbury yourself. So,
Yes.
okay, what was the first one again?
A, Somerset, B,
Mhm.
Suffolk, or C, Wales?
What's the second one? I've never heard of that. What is it called?
Suffolk is kind of East Anglia, like near
Oh,
Norfolk. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think it's the first one.
Cool. You're gonna go for Somerset?
Yeah.
Well, you would be correct.
Oh my gosh. Wait, that means I got 3 out of 3 this week.
You got 3 out of
Oh
3.
wow.
You got
Yeah,
300%. Wow. Nice.
I know.
Fantastic. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling like I deserve my flowers.
If anyone wants to send in some flowers to Patience as a congratulations, then we will give out an address for you to send them to.
Thank you.
Congratulations, well done. I remember last week you said you were definitely going to bounce back, and you have done. So let's see what happens next week. Okay, and now we're going to chat about HiKinjo a little bit. It's the reason we do this podcast. HiKinjo is a social app that you can download and find people in your local area. You can earn money, you can hire people, and you can simply make friends. So, Patience, what are we going to chat about this week?
So one of the person things is that the older I get, like you realize how hard it is to make friends. And I think with HiKinjo, it's one of those places where you can, let's say, if you're moved to a new city or you're starting a new phase in your life, you're a new mom or you're now like just focusing on your career, like finding friends who are in the same phase as you without having to basically like feel isolated within your previous friendship group. It's a really, really good place for you to do that. So I think that's something we can talk about how you can navigate that in your adult years.
Yeah, exactly. And it certainly is harder to make friends as you get older for some reason. But the great thing about HiKinjo is it's a great place to make friends and start one of your own club and find like-minded people. A good way to do that would be, especially with the summer coming up, is to hold some parties. And who doesn't like a
Yeah.
party? Yeah. Hold a barbecue for everybody in your street, get everybody to bring along
Hmm.
some food and drink. And
Oh, I
yes,
love those.
they're great, aren't they? The old neighborhood barbecues. Yeah. Yeah, very great.
Yeah, especially when it's like, do you know when you live next to a chef, like you know it's going to be good.
Do you live next door to a chef?
No, like, but you can tell who's good at cooking,
Oh
you
yeah.
know? So I've got a friend that lives next to a chef, and honestly, like summertime, they tend to like have a little barbecue get together. He's a really lovely person. And yeah, it's just really nice. I tend to kind of like crush them a little bit and sometimes. So I'm looking forward to this summer as well to just join them. It's not
There's,
my neighborhood, but it's my friends though.
well, yeah, it's kind of your neighborhood. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing quite like going out into your back garden or into your street and smelling that smell of barbecue. So if I was you, I'd download HiKinjo. I'd create a post saying that you're going to have a barbecue this week. You'd like to meet all of the neighbors. I guarantee that, from the day after, from the day moving forward, your life will be that little bit better because you would have met everybody in the street and yeah, made some new friends.
I think that's definitely a good way to make friends. There's less pressure as well. And I think in your adult years, you tend to think, oh my gosh, is this person going to think I'm weird because I want to be friends with them? Do I look too eager to be friends with them? So I tend to just like, first thing I do personally is I would like, I'll give someone a compliment. Let's say if I go to the barbecue, for example, and I see someone, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love your hat, or I love your shoes. I like whoever cooked the burger that I'm eating. I'm like, oh, I really love this. What's the seasoning in it? Even though I know I'm gonna go home and not cook it, it's a really good way to kind of start that conversation and be like, okay, we're starting from somewhere without coming off a bit too eager for a friendship or like desperate in some way. You're just having a normal conversation
Yeah.
and you let them decide whether they want to engage in that conversation or not.
What kind of themed party would you put on, Patience, if you was gonna put on a party for your neighborhood or your street?
I would throw, I would say I'd throw like a mocktail party slash picnic because we've got a big garden. So I would love to just have like, whether it's like male man or woman, like people just to come around, sit down, eat, and just like soak in the sun, just get a bit of vitamin D at the same time. And then have like a quiz as well, because I like asking different questions. And there's this game called like I don't know what it's called like, but you ask different questions. I think it's called we're the same or we're not the same, something like that. And it's got like a friendship pack. So it asks you different questions like pick or choose, or like what would you do if the world was ending tomorrow? Would you like save your car or would you do this? Those kind of things, because they're really good at breaking the ice instead of like something very, because it's easy to be awkward when you're just getting to know people. But if it's like a group thing and there's a quiz and everyone is just like trying to chime in the answer, it's very easy as well with a bit of mocktails as well. But if you want alcohol, you're welcome to bring it. I just won't be providing it because it's expensive. That's it.
You heard it here. If you go to Patience parties,
Uh,
remember to bring a bottle with you. Um,
yeah. How about you?
in terms of themes of parties, I would maybe put on an 80s party because I love the 80s, the 90s.
Okay, what's your favorite like moment from the 80s?
I like a bit of Wham.
Wow, yeah, wake me up before
That's
you
all.
go
Go
go.
go. Yeah.
I love them. Yeah.
Club Tropicana. So yeah, I would have an 80s themed party where people can dress as Madonna or George Michael or Michael Jackson or
Mm,
any of those guys, Boy George. So yeah, that's what I
yes.
would do. Yeah, that would be a very fun party.
Who would you dress up as?
Very good question. I would probably go as uh, probably as Boy George. That would be quite fun.
Do you know what? I guess that as well. I don't know why,
You
but I
guessed
see
that.
that. Yeah.
Nice. I'll get my clown's outfit out. Who would you go as to my 80s themed street party?
I I would go with
Whitney?
I was gonna say that, but I think that's very like every person would want to choose that. I would want to be unique. Maybe I wanna say
Freddie
I forgot
Mercury? Annie Lennox?
no,
Trying to think
no.
of one.
This one is not in the 80s, but I think the movies he made were somehow influenced by the 80s, like Austin Powers, like the film version of
That
him.
was from the 90s and the
I
60s.
know,
That's
I
nothing to do
know.
with the 80s. I say what, I think personally you should go as Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. I don't know if I can pull her off. That's a lot of pressure.
Not many people can pull off Tina Turner. But
No, it's
yeah,
hard.
basically download HiKinjo and get organizing your summer party today.
Yes, let's do it.
So now we're going to move on to the Chamber of British Legends. Are you excited, Patience?
Yes, let's do it. Let's go for it.
Last week we talked about the cheese rolling. This week we are going to be talking about the summer solstice. I can never pronounce that correctly. That will be happening on the 21st of June. It happens every year at Stonehenge. Have you ever been to Stonehenge, Patience?
No, I haven't. I think I know it. Is it the one, but is it in Scotland?
It's in Wiltshire. But yeah, so every year on the 21st of June or whenever summer solstice is, people meet up at Stonehenge and it can
Mhm.
attract crowds of about 20,000 people and they celebrate the start of summer. But just to delve into Stonehenge a little bit, I'm going to be reading from the National Geographic for Kids. That's where my level's at. What is Stonehenge? Found on England's Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, Stonehenge is a huge man-made circle of standing stones built built by our ancestors over many hundreds of years. It's one of the world's most famous prehistoric monuments, and it's one of its biggest mysteries too. Work sited on this superstone circle around 5,000 years ago in the late Neolithic age, but it took over 1,000 years to build in 4 long stages. So that's it's pretty old, even older than Mick Jagger. Wow. If you visit Stonehenge today, you'll see many of the enormous stones still standing strong in a circular arrangement. Research shows that the structure of this amazing monument changed over time as it was built and rebuilt by generations of ancient peoples. So I went there once when I was a kid, when I was about 6 or 7. My dad drove me and my sister there, and this was at a time where they hadn't yet roped it off. So you could go and stand in the center and touch the stones and everything. And it was pretty amazing. They are pretty huge when you get up close to them. And yeah, each year around 20,000 people gather at the Stonehenge to celebrate the summer solstice when the sun is at its highest point in the sky all year. And it makes for a spectacular sunrise. So anyone who is going to the Stonehenge summer solstice, please get in touch and let us know. And if you're going alone and if you want to meet with people who are going, then please download HiKinjo and see if anyone else is driving up. Maybe you could do a bit of a car share and a bit of an adventure. We're going to move on to events happening. Patience, have you seen any events happening over the next few weeks or months that you're interested in going to?
Yes. Yes, there's one happening in Manchester. Craig David presents TS5 at the City Airport in Manchester. Um, yeah,
Craig
so
David,
which is like one of them. Craig David, right? That's exciting, isn't it?
rewind. When the crowd say ball, selector.
Yeah, yeah, him.
I'm gonna cut that out.
Um,
Okay.
no, do it. No, don't cut it out. Leave it. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna be presenting at the TS5 on the 14th of July at 4:30. And he's got a bit of a tour happening as well. Another one in September in Worthing, but the Manchester one is defo because it's summertime. I don't know if I would want to go and see somebody in wintertime unless it's like inside. Yeah, so he's gonna be presenting TS5 and yeah. And it's actually like because it started as an exclusive party in Miami and they're moving to UK, I guess. I guess it's like an opening in UK where he's gonna be getting the crowd warmed up for
Yeah.
the party.
I
And
almost
then
like that
another
song he did. Is it 7 Days? Have you heard that?
yeah, yeah, I love that song. I think it came out in 2004 or something. Yeah, I remember that. Like I think I had a crush on him for like I don't know, but like not a crush. Maybe like it was more
Was
like I liked him. It was not a crush. Let
you
me
had a
not
crush
lie.
for about 7 days?
No, it was not a crush. It was more like, oh my gosh, he's really good looking, but not a
Yeah.
crush. I wasn't.
He
No,
was he
sorry,
was very
sorry, Craig
smooth.
David.
It was very smooth when he came out. But the lyrics,
He
I always forget the
was.
lyrics to those songs. It's something like took her to the zoo on Monday. We had KFC on Tuesday. Uh,
KFC on Tuesday.
what
Why are
was
you
it?
roasting the song?
We were playing Twister on Wednesday. Good to
Wow.
meet my nan on Friday. It's something
Oh
like
my God. I guess it's something like that, but I hope he doesn't hear this.
that. Craig, please, Craig, don't get offended. I apologize. But yeah,
Yeah.
any other events you've seen happening?
Yes. So I saw another one which is like I don't know if you listen to Frank Ocean, but there's like a blonde album versus orange channel orchestra that's happening. So they're gonna basically take some time to explore the two albums, and this sounds like a very pro like very like into Frank Ocean fans. So it's just a session where they'll just delve into the two different albums and talk about them as well. I'm kind of sad that they're not including the ones prior to Channel Orange. I think he had like three different albums before then. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting, and that's in Manchester in the Blues Kitchen on the 21st of July. There's
Oh
a
yeah,
gig.
I love Blues Kitchen venues. There's a couple in London, one in
Mhm.
Camden and one in Brixton, I think. But yeah, they're always a great night. So highly recommend that. Have you got any happy news stories?
Do you know what? The only happy news I have is that today it's really, really warm in UK. And that itself is a miracle because it's been really cold. And then just to have the sun actually like hitting your skin and it's warm. I'm here for it. I don't know about you, but that's plenty of good news for me in UK.
That is good news. That is genuinely good news. Yeah. The sun is out. So
Yes, summer is here.
that is good news. I've found one happy news story, which is pretty amazing. 13 years after losing both legs in Afghanistan, a veteran summits Everest, establishing world record. That's pretty cool. So this amazing man, Hari Buddha Marga, who lives in Canterbury, reached the top at 3 p.m. Last Friday, having started to climb on April the 17th. Yeah, what an amazing achievement. And yeah, fantastic, inspiring news. Okay, guys, so that's all we've got time for this week. It's been amazing, inspiring, and fantastic as always. Patience, what have you got to say?
Thank you so much, guys, for listening every week. We have been getting a lot of traction and just loving the feedback so far. So honestly, if there's anything else that you guys want us to talk about, feel free to send in a message on Instagram, TikTok, or any channels that we're on, and we'll be happy to answer any of those questions. It could be anything from making friends to making extra income with HiKinjo. Yeah, otherwise it's been fabulous. Thank you so much.
Be awesome to each other. Goodbye. See you next week.